I got the clapper.
That's hot. I like
You're
it.
the man.
I'm a clapper guy.
That's rolling. Let me sit back.
We've got 3 cameras, so we'll be sure to get you.
In all the different dimensions. that we
Yes,
have.
right.
That's rolling. Hold it up, right there. Yeah, that's good.
Ready?
Yep.
Set?
Yep.
Oh.
That's it. That's all we need to do.
That's like it. I always thought that meant action.
That's right before action.
Yeah, this is.
That good?
Yeah.
Close.
I'm very.
What's your last name?
Bostic. Oh, B-O-S-T-I-C.
All right, guys, I think we're ready.
Yeah?
Yep.
So now go.
You could just jump in and start.
Harris, it's just so great to meet you, and I'm really excited to hear a little bit more about how you perceive your own leadership. So if I ask you these 3 statements, can you please let me know where that lands for you? So the first being, I don't know what I don't know. The second being, I know what I don't know. And the third being, I know what I need to know.
Very good. Let's see. When it comes to my own leadership, I think I know what I don't know. And one thing about being a leader or part of the leadership team of an organization I've found with many organizations I've been in, especially one I'm in now with Coaching Core, is that as a leader, a lot of times it's hard to get really good feedback. A lot of the staff, they want to get feedback on their work. And so there are times when I want to get honest feedback on, did this work, or why didn't this work, or what, something about this didn't come off as planned.
Yeah.
And so one thing I like about being part of a group such as FLA is that I have colleagues in my own boat, if you will, that are giving me honest, sometimes very candid advice and letting me know. So those things that I know I don't know, I can actually get really good feedback, because I mean, there are a lot of reasons, there's a lot of good intentions among the staff, but sometimes it just won't, because of hierarchical structures,
Yeah.
won't give the chief operating officer certain feedback.
Yeah.
So it's really good to have those obvious kind of connections and network to talk to others that are dealing with some of the same issues.
Yeah. That's awesome.
Thank you.
We're going to break for 1 second. Be careful about clapping your hands.
Oh, yeah.
It's just something that's happened. That's it. So go ahead with the next question.
Oh,
Stop
sure.
that.
Can he now ask her, or would you prefer that we stay in the same direction?
I'd say I'd go the same direction.
Okay.
It was just a minor thing, but I'll stop it now rather than.
All right, so maybe we'll ask him about the managing the internal and external.
Of course. Again, I'm really excited to meet you, Harris, and here at this space, and recognize that we, work in the same building, not even just the same city. But in thinking about when you're managing your own when we think about when you're managing your own internal organizational leadership role at Coaching Core and your external movement leadership role broadly, do you think if I say these 3 statements, you tell me which one kind of sits with you the most? The first being motivating, the second being challenging, and the third being daunting.
Okay. When I think of my internal organizational kind of leadership compared to my external movement leadership, let's see, is it motivating, is it challenging, is it daunting? Actually, with all due respect, I'm going to add a 4th one, all of the above. Because I find myself feeling all of those, I will call them emotions, all the time, depending. Have a very good chief operating officer who has an external focus. So that means then almost by default, I will have an internal focus and managing the staff, managing our change process, managing a lot of the ways that we deal with internal conflict or internal opportunities and taking advantage of those. But also, because the biggest piece of our organization is our programmatic outreach, I am working with a lot of external after-school programs, external governmental agencies, and external stakeholders. And so I'm working with them usually very specifically on programmatic issues. But then other opportunities always come up. Fundraising opportunities come up. I'm always thinking, oh, if I match them with this other organization, then we can have this opportunity. So then automatically I'm turning my hat, and now I'm going from a programmatic interaction with these stakeholders to now a fundraising or a communications or another. So then in that regard, it's very motivating. But then it's challenging too because I want to keep in sync with the executive directors, our chief operating officer, keep those two roles in sync and working together. And then it's always daunting because it's a dance, it's a
That's
choreography,
right.
and we have to
That's right.
we have to work on that balance of internal and external, and who does work on this and who does not work on this. And every opportunity is not an opportunity we need to take, and every challenge is not necessarily something that we can't learn from. So I respectfully would say all three.
Yeah.
It's challenging, motivating, and daunting.
That's awesome. Thank you.
Well,
Just keep going and ask, maybe the same question.
yeah, the meeting.
Start with the second
It's
one.
just great. It's just great to interact with you, learn more about your organization here at the FLA conference. But I have a question for you. When it comes to your own leadership style, would you say that you don't know what you don't know, you know what you don't know, or you know what you know?
That's a really good question. I feel like in a lot of ways, I don't know what I know. I mean, it's not one of the ones that you listed, but I think there's ways in which I feel like, I don't know what I don't know because I'm like, everything feels new. And in my role as operations director at APEN, I definitely have felt, there's been moments where I felt challenged, like I actually have no idea what system I need to create and I just need a minute, or an hour to figure it out and craft a proposal that makes the most sense for the organization moving forward. And then of course, I turn around and there's some HR business I have to attend to, like some crisis internally that demands attention and another system approach or another, engage with another leader in the organization to try to problem solve what is the best way forward for the organization's, desired impact. So I feel like it's, sometimes it's like I don't know what I know because I actually have a level of expertise in a particular area that I haven't been able to actually tap into until it's time, like until the opportunity presents itself, the new challenge or it's just like a new opportunity presents itself. But then most times I feel like I just don't know what I don't know, and it's it's all circumstantial in a lot of ways. It's super exciting, and I feel like there's a lot of creativity and innovation that's allowed in my position. And through the opportunity, through accessing the FLA grant with Haas Jr., I do feel like I feel super privileged to be able to interact with other leaders, like thought leaders and directors, senior staff that are embarking on a similar organizational path or similar challenge in building infrastructure. That's probably what I would say.
And do you find that your staff treats you like you know exactly what you know sometimes?
Oh yeah, no, I feel like most times they feel like it's a conspiracy. Like you just own that you know something that you're not telling me. I'm like, I really don't know. I don't know what you think that I know. But it's a good engaging process, to have a team that's so invested in shifting the organization for the better. And it's just being able to remember that there's like a deep commitment to the organization's mission that drives all of us, and just trying to align that passion and that vision, having like a consistent check-in, whether it's in staff meeting, in formal spaces, or just, kind of in kickback, happy hour spaces, or in these kinds of conferences, really having the opportunity to riff off, other senior leadership and what other creative ideas and suggestions people have done, whether it's Coaching Core or another organization that's across the country. So,
Well, I have another question for you.
please.
How would you answer this question? I'm balancing my internal organizational leadership role with my external movement leadership role. Is it A, motivating, B, challenging, or C, daunting?
Whew. I feel like I feel like I'm challenged by it, and I'm motivated, but I'm also challenged because it's not just the internal organizational role, it's also my movement role and how I'm trying to insert, my own perspective or opinion on different things in a broader movement space. But also then I have a family, trying to raise a toddler. I think it creates challenge just logistically, even just how do I attend different meetings and still get him to preschool on time? How am I able to coordinate, his after school soccer practice with, being very present in a staff planning advance or something like that. You know, I think the logistical part alone is a challenge. But once I'm able to, like, you know, if I having a really good day or a really good week, I feel motivated. I feel juiced that I'm able to, like, actually arrive and be present and prepared to be able to listen and cultivate a creativity with the full team. So yeah, if I'm like here, I'm like so juiced that I'm able to be here and meet you and meet other folks doing important, amazing work and feel inspired by that work. So right now I'm not feeling challenged.
So do you feel you complement the work that your executive director does? Because I'm assuming your executive director has an external role as well as an
Yes.
internal. Do you then tend to take more of an internal
Yes.
role to complement?
Yes. So I feel like, you know, yes, historically, the operations director and me in this role has definitely been complementary as I sit on the leadership team. That said, we're in the middle of an executive director organizational transition. So we have an interim director right now, and we're hiring. So, but yes, that's the hope is for the role is that there'll be somebody that has an external face, and then we're also trying to support that work through having an infrastructure team that is supporting that. And then additionally, making sure that the senior leadership team is also, you know, playing an active role, engaging in external activities as needed, for sure. So it is a complement. That's an excellent follow-up question.
We have to wrap. That was great. Actually,
Yeah.
that was a perfect moment in time thing too, because it'll be easy to tune back in.